I think as kids, right, we dream a lot. We dream, we have this freedom to be able to go and dream and think about different things. And there is no constraints. And at some point, someone in our lives tells us, okay, enough of that. Now we got to get serious, right? And I think we get conditioned to a point like, okay, you need to do this. Stop dreaming. Enough of that. Whether it's at school, I mean, think about it. You get in school at some point, they tell us, you got to be quiet. You got to sit in your chair, do your work. Don't say anything out loud that's not inappropriate, right? And that's it, right? And I think at some point, we basically stop dreaming because now I got to be serious. I got to be an adult. And I think what ends up happening, that puts that curiosity, that creativity kind of like squishes it, right? And I think for us, when somebody's asking us, I think for us is to get that inner child out of them a little bit. Because I think for you, like being a coach, I don't think your inner child has ever left. What do you think?
Yeah, I remember growing up, my mom would tell me, I can't wait for you to have kids because I don't think you're ever going to grow up. I mean, I was always having these, and even with depression, I had, like, for example, one of my signature stories that I share, but like, I loved watching The Price is Right every single day. And for me, it was like this vision. I mean, this kind of ties into a perfect example of, I was this game show fanatic. I mean, I wanted to meet Bob Barker. Well, all right. I arranged my class schedule around the show. I studied every show. I knew the price of every prize they had. And then I met a guy who was on the show and he told me exactly how to get on the show. So I skipped my college graduation. I drive across the country to get on The Price is Right. We show up the morning of the taping and Bob was sick. The show was canceled. So I had to drive back across the country. Then I got home. Mom gives me a great big hug and she looks at me and she goes, how bad do you want it? Go back out there. Live that dream. So order tickets. A couple of days later, that time I flew back. Well, got there. Called my buddies up again. They all came down. We get in the studio audience and I get called down to contestants row. And then I knew if I got called down to contestants row, I knew I'd get on stage because I knew the prices of every item that they had. I get on stage, I shake hands with Bob Barker, and that's the living manifestation of the dream. Yeah. Now, whether I won anything or not is just bonus gravy, right? But it's interesting that story, and I didn't realize it at the time. It took a couple of years to connect the dots, but that story then became my signature presentation in my speeches. So here's what's interesting is I believe, at least, our passions are cyclical. And when we pursue our passions, when we pursue what interests us and what makes us, I think, Wojo, you kind of hinted on this before, when we find something that we want to do that makes us come alive, like, for example, when we do it, time stops. Like for you, it's probably, playing guitar, like for me, playing keyboard. So I got my keyboard here and I don't know if you can see it, but like I play piano even in my presentations. So hello to my virtual studio. But anyway, I can sit down and play piano, and what I thought might be 5 or 10 minutes is actually like 2 hours. But there's a difference between me pursuing piano as a career and me pursuing maybe, my speaking. So I think I'm kind of dripping a lot here. I don't know if I'm even making any sense, but I think when people identify something that makes them come alive and they love it and they don't have to explain it, like it's just, it is what it is, then I think they should pay attention to that and see where it goes,